Slow down for a moment. Take a gentle breath. And let your heart listen before your mind does. Some people don't truly leave your life. They only step back until your heart is strong enough to meet them again. If one name still feels tender instead of painful, your heart may already understand something your thoughts are still catching up to. Not every goodbye was meant to shut a door. Some goodbyes were meant to guard it. When someone is meant to return, your soul prepares long before they do. You don't miss them the way you once did. You remember them the way you needed to. Stay with me. Because the connections that are meant to come back don't return loudly. They come back quietly. When you're finally ready, take another slow breath. Let everything inside you settle. This isn't something to watch casually. It's something to feel. There are people who leave your life and slowly fade into memory. And then there are people who leave, but never truly go. No matter how much time passes, no matter how much healing you do, no matter how many new chapters you open, something about them still feels unfinished. You don't think about them every day, but when you do, it feels different now. Softer, deeper, strangely familiar. That's because some connections aren't meant to be erased. They're meant to be realigned. When someone is meant to re-enter your life, the signs don't shout. They whisper. They repeat. They wait until you're ready to notice. And when the timing is right, life begins to move quietly in their direction again. There are 7 signs that reveal when someone isn't just returning by chance, but returning with purpose. Sign 1. They come back into your thoughts when your heart is calm. Not when you're busy. Not when you're distracted. But when everything inside you finally grows quiet. Late at night. Early in the morning. In pauses you didn't plan. They return gently. Not dramatically. Like a presence that never needed permission to stay. You might wonder why now. Why after healing? Why after time passed? Why after you thought you were done? That's the meaning of this sign. When someone is meant to return, they don't appear in chaos. They appear in calm. When your heart isn't desperate anymore. When your wounds aren't open. When you're strong enough to remember without falling apart. This isn't longing. It's recognition. Your heart isn't asking you to chase them. It's asking you to notice. Memories that return without pain aren't reopening wounds. They're quietly checking if the door is unlocked, if thinking of them feels gentler now, clearer, steadier. That isn't coincidence. Some people return to your thoughts not because you miss the past, but because you're finally ready for who you both have become. Sign 2. Life creates small, impossible coincidences around them. You're not searching. You're not asking for signs. And yet, they keep appearing. Their name comes up in unrelated conversations. A song brings back a moment you thought was gone. A place, a date, a detail quietly points back to them. These aren't loud miracles. They're quiet alignments. When someone is meant to re-enter your life, reality nudges instead of pushes. Just enough to make you pause. Just enough to make you think. That's strange. And the strange part isn't that they appear. It's how natural it feels when they do. Your heart doesn't panic anymore. It doesn't ache the way it once did. It simply notices. These moments aren't pulling you backward. They're checking your readiness. Life doesn't repeat patterns to trap you. It repeats them to see if you've grown. If the reminders feel gentle instead of painful. If they spark curiosity instead of fear. That's a sign this connection is being reintroduced carefully, intentionally, and on time. Sign 3. The pain attached to them has softened into understanding. There was a time when thinking of them hurt. Your chest tightened. Your thoughts spiraled. Now, it's different. What once felt sharp feels quiet. What once felt heavy feels reflective. That change didn't happen by accident. When someone is meant to re-enter your life, the pain connected to them transforms first. You stop replaying what went wrong. You start understanding why it happened. Anger fades. Blame loosens. You don't excuse the past. You understand it. Your heart no longer asks, "Why did this hurt me?" It asks, "What did this teach me?" If you can think of them now without needing closure, without craving an apology, without wishing things were different, your heart has healed enough to meet them again, not as who you were, but as who you've become. Sign 4. You've released the need to control the outcome. There was a time you wanted answers, a message, a sign. Now you don't chase a return or fear one. You've let go of trying to control how or if they come back. And that shift changes everything. When someone is meant to return, control dissolves before connection does. You stop rehearsing conversations. You stop bargaining with time. You trust, not by waiting, but by allowing. You know that if they return, it will be honest. And if they don't, you'll still be whole. That neutrality isn't indifference. It's readiness. Real alignment doesn't come from wanting. It comes from being able to receive without losing yourself. Sign 5. The thought of seeing them again feels calm, not anxious. Imagine seeing their name again, running into them unexpectedly, and instead of panic, you feel steady. That calm matters. When someone isn't meant to return, your body braces for pain. When they are, your nervous system relaxes first. Calm is your body saying, "I'm safe now." True reconnections don't begin with intensity. They begin with safety. Sign 6. You're no longer the person who let them go. You've changed in quiet ways. You understand your boundaries, your worth, what you will no longer abandon yourself for. They wouldn't be returning to the old you. They'd be meeting someone wiser, steadier, more rooted. Life doesn't bring people back until you're strong enough to meet them without losing yourself again. Sign 7. You're ready to meet them as an equal, not a need. You don't see them as a rescue. You don't need them to complete you. You feel whole. From that wholeness, you feel ready to meet them eye to eye. Real reconnections don't happen when someone is waiting to be saved. They happen when both arrive complete. If love returns at the right time, it doesn't come as rescue. It comes as a meeting. If this stayed with you until the end, trust that it wasn't random. Not everyone who leaves is meant to return, but those who are, return to clarity, not chaos. Before you go, write this in the comments. If it's meant to return, let it return gently. Or, I'm ready, no matter what. Sometimes the real sign isn't who comes back. It's who you've